Hello everyone and welcome back to the Valorant in-depth series. Today we're going to be going over retaking a site because I've had a lot of people recently asking me how to actually go about it because it happens so often and people get it wrong a lot of times. So what I've done is I've gone through a few of HIKO's VODs, picked out a few clips of retakes that I really liked the way he performed in them, and I'm going to be breaking those down and hopefully picking out a few pillars to help you succeed in your own retakes. Now, I will say I'm doing VOD reviews every Friday, so if you want more information, stick around to the end of the video on that. But for now, enjoy the video. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so I have two HIKO clips I want to try to break down because his team gives up sites completely, and I want to try to break down what he's thinking about and his actions whenever he goes to actually retake the site. So this is the first one we have. His team gives up mid control really early. Sorry. His team gives up mid control really early, but we see them completely rush B, or rush A. You see them trade 1-for-1 up in the mini-map. We can see that they traded 1-for-1. So HIKO's rotating really fast, and it looks like Cypher wants to try to play anchor, but he just rotates with his team because they now know that they completely committed to the rush. Yeah. It's a smoked off window. We see the Sage wall.
Take ramp control, try to molly the bomb.
And he says, take ramp control, I'm going to try to molly the bomb. So this is HIKO calling the retake, which is really important. You need to have somebody micromanaging the actual retake.
To the left.
Unfortunately, he doesn't see the Sage walls there, and his ramp player dies, so he essentially did nothing for his ramp player dying. So his best bet is to swing really wide and try to trade. That way they retain some control of the map. That way they can retake from. That's what he does. He's breaking the wall so that the enemy team has something to be scared of. That wall's going to break regardless. It doesn't matter if he shoots it the last time. He saw that they were both backside. We see that he wants to peek with his teammate. He knows that people are backside, so he wants to hold one angle so that his teammate can kind of clear sight.
Waiting for you, waiting for you.
You hear him comment that he's waiting for his Sage. They get into a nice little crossfire, and then the round's over. So one important thing to realize there is that HIKO called the retake. He was basically shot calling the entire retake, and he peeked with his teammates every time. We saw him do it with the Raze, even though he was a little slow to do it, and he peeked with the Cypher to kind of support him, and then he said, waiting for you for the Sage to then peek with him. The second clip I picked out is HIKO retaking B. So his entire team rotated over to A. You see they killed 2 people over at A. It's now 4v3 because they lost 1 player. So his entire team rotated over to A while Cypher's still playing anchor because they didn't completely commit to the A rush. The other team didn't.
Putting my wallet for you if you want.
So we see that HIKO's team has no control of mid. I'm going to turn him down just a little bit. HIKO's team has no control of mid, so he's rotating really safely just to try to support the Cypher. He put up his wall for the people on A. No one pushed through, so now they're thinking it's going to be a B push. You see Sage starting to try to get back a little bit of control. She's peeking ramps just to make sure.
Nothing so far. Go all the way back around. I successfully unsubbed. Nice.
And then HIKO wants to walk all the way back around to Heaven to try to get a little bit of control back before the enemy pushes in.
Couple Heaven, through Heaven on you, Cypher.
He calls it out.
They walled me.
He gets walled. So right now he knows that his Cypher's the only person on site and he's about to get called out. But Cypher did a really good job of sitting on site and staying alive. That way HIKO has something to play around. HIKO knows he has to get there to try to support his Cypher. And Cypher makes a really good play, peeks, shoots, and then HIKO comes around and supports his Cypher. So what we see there is his teammate kind of stayed alive and played a really passive angle on site. So whenever the enemy team did push it and took control of site, there was still that one little angle that they would have to clear. They would have to go so deep into site to actually clear that angle that HIKO could then play around him. All right, now through looking at these 2 clips, we have the 3 pillars, or what I would call the 3 pillars of retaking a site. You need to peek with your teammates, call the retake, and stay alive. So we'll go ahead and get into all 3 of those really quickly. All right, so first of all, let's talk about peeking with your teammates. How do you do it? How do you do it effectively? So basic rule of thumb, 2 rules. You want to peek different angles, and you want to peek at the exact same time. Now, literally, there have been rounds where the bomb gets planted, and I'm sitting right here, and I have a teammate flanking around long, or whatever bomb site it would be. My teammate's flanking around, and I sit here for like 20 seconds. And my teammates are like, Viper, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm waiting on my teammate. I don't want to take this battle. You know, let's say there's 2 people on site. I don't want to take this battle 1v2, and if I die, then my teammate long has to come in and take another 1v2. Instead, I want to peek this at the same time my teammate peeks long, and we both take 2 1v1s, or both of them look at him and I get 2 free kills, or both of them look at me and he gets 2 free kills. Right? That's best case scenario. You want to walk in at the same exact time as your teammate. When I talk about peeking different angles, that's more about you're clearing your angles. So if I'm coming from CT, my main angle to clear is right here, and then I want to peek wide, just make sure there's no danger areas, and then I want to start clearing around like this. Obviously I can be watching back here, but my most important thing is to get around here and clear these angles that my person long isn't going to take. And when my person long is coming in, he wants to clear back plat, clear left, and then he wants to make sure garage is okay, and then he can start working around and clearing the rest of the site while I'm doing the same exact thing. We're basically mirroring each other. So basically, you just want to clear the opposite angles that your teammate is going to have a hard time clearing. Now, if you're playing together, it gets a little different. So say I'm leading. Whenever I come in, I want to clear the most important angles, which would be here, and then I want to start clearing the rest of site. I can take looks at this stuff over here, but most importantly, I'm worried about the people that are going to flank us from the most logical angle, which is going to be coming out of garage or playing default on site or long. That's the most important thing. If I'm playing second man and I come in, my teammate's walking forward, I can clear the angle with him, and then I got to start looking at his off angles. This is what I'm training on. The people that are going to peek him from off angles that he's not going to be expecting. As soon as he gets into a fight and he starts shooting, hopefully he's not sitting right here shooting. Because then whenever I walk around behind him, I'm going to get tapped straight through him. We're both going to get headshot at the same exact time. Whenever you're playing first man, you peek really fast and wide and allow your teammate to come up right next to you and start trading immediately. So that's the goal for retaking site. You want to peek with your teammates, do it at the exact same time, set up crossfires, and don't peek the exact same angles. That's what you're going for. All right, now let's talk about calling the retake. Who is supposed to call the retake? I'm going to say this. It doesn't matter who calls the retake. That's not exactly true, but someone needs to call the retake no matter who it is. The best person to call the retake is the person with the most utility. So if I'm playing Viper and I have my Q and my E up, I'm going to tell my teammates, I'm going to smoke off back flat. I'm going to throw it. Or I can throw off my wall and I'm going to say, don't worry about left side of sight. And then we come in. If I say don't worry about left side of sight, we know my teammates are going to clear the most important angle and then start walking around site and clearing this. That way we can clear everything. And if I say I'm smoking off back plat, we're not going to worry about that angle. We're just going to clear left, peek right, and then keep going. The person with the most utility is the person who should be calling the site. Brimstone, Viper, I don't know, Sage if she has her wall, something like that. But it really doesn't matter. Just whoever has the most utility, please call the site. If not, someone has to call the retake and tell your teammates what you're doing. Best case scenario, you have multiple people with utility up, and each person is contributing to the call. So one person is saying, we're about to take CT, and then the Sage is going to say, I'll slow off long or something like that. The person with utility is telling your team what you're contributing. That way you don't really have to worry about that angle. You know what to expect. But whenever you're calling the retake, you want to, hopefully you have utility available. That way you can smoke stuff off and tell your team what to expect. But someone just needs to tell your teammates, I'm playing Viper, it's okay. I'll be like, I'm entry fragging, follow me. We're taking CT. I'm checking back sight, moving to front. I'm going to clear garage. Someone check long. Whatever, you just need to micromanage your teammates and tell them what to expect. Because once we get here, I don't really need somebody trading with me anyway. Once I start clearing garage, I don't need somebody trading with me. They can go check long. Because we're at the point now, we've taken most of site. Then it just comes down to clearing enough space where you can actually protect the bomb. So if we have 3 people off, best case scenario, I can start pushing in the garage like this a little bit. I can start pushing in the garage like this a little bit. One person can start pushing it along, and then our last person can tap the bomb. Basically, all you're doing is taking site, separating, getting control, letting your bomb planter, or letting your diffuser defuse. That's what you're going for. All right, and last but not least, and best case scenario, honestly, stay alive. Make sure your team has someone on site to be that little chink in the enemy's armor, to be that person that can stay alive and kill the enemy team whenever they come on the site. So say I have my smoke down right here, which is pretty common, and I can play a really safe angle like this, take a few pop shots, fall back, pop my smoke, and then I can reposition. Maybe I want to go back to somewhere like here, take another few pop shots, or just hide and tell my teammates, if I see like 5 people coming, I may not re-peek it. I'll just leave my smoke up and then tell my team, I saw 5 long, blah, blah, blah. That way my team knows to rotate through garage, come through CT, and I'm sitting right here. That way, hopefully my teammates that come from B can get over here. And as we saw with HIKO, he didn't wait on his entire team to come rotate. He went and immediately tried to support the Cypher. So whoever you have here with you, that's who you're going to take this battle with. So you're going to sit here, wait on them to start getting the plant down. If they start planting and they haven't peeked you, that's when you're going to swing. If they completely swing around wide and start clearing the site, then you just got to take your battle, hope your guys CT and your guys garage start supporting for you. But basically, if you have somebody on site, don't sit and let them die. Immediately walk up as fast as you can and try to support them. Because best case scenario, the person who's playing defense has enough frame of mind to actually play an aggressive angle and get information before they come on site. So you'll see 5 people here, or you have somebody playing window and garage. If they get smoked off, then you want people to start rotating most of the time. One person play anchor B, everybody rotate over, whatever. But basically what you want to do is fall back to a safer angle that you can actually start fighting from. You can play back plat, you can play behind this, you can actually get up here. This is actually a really good angle. A lot of people don't check it whenever they're coming on site, and they'll immediately start planting. It's a free kill. This is a really good angle. Back plat's a really good angle because they have to go so deep into sight to actually see you. And then obviously behind this is another good angle. But that's what you're looking for, that really safe angle you can turn the odds in your favor with by getting the element of surprise, and then you have your teammates to back you up. So whenever I pop out right here and I start causing commotion, and then my teammates start firing, they're probably going to look at me and my teammates are going to get free kills, just like we saw in the HIKO clip. Everyone was focused on the Cypher. HIKO got a free kill and saved a Cypher. If everyone starts firing at me, that's fine because I have people backing me up from both angles. That's what you want, someone to be on live to cause a little disruption. Now, with all these strategies and tips in mind, make sure you remember no battle plan survives contact with the enemy. So make sure you're communicating on the fly and adapting to what the enemy team is doing. But as always, my Twitch is in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So if you wanted to check some of this stuff out live, make sure you head over to my Twitch. And there's an email in the description as well. If you guys have VODs you wanted me to review, go to that email and just link me or send me a link of your VOD. Make sure you include what rank you are, and then 2 questions that you wanted me to try to focus on for that video specifically. And then tell me a little bit about yourself so I can, get a feel for what's going on in the clip. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day and peace.
And I've been chilling, watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our cloudlands when people change, but not us. And we just chilling, kicking it, kissed by the sun.